The perception of that people have about Southeast of being, very violent, or they shouldn't come here because they will get killed, or they will get shot. That's silly, I think, for me. I live here, and now I live here since 2008, so almost 12 years now in the neighborhood. And, there are things that happen, right? But anything can happen anywhere. I think, again, it has to do with the perception of what you see on the news. They always say the Southeast. It happened in the Southeast. And then when it happens somewhere else, they just say the address, but they don't say the part of the city where it happened. My name is Javier Mondragon, and I am the pastor of Many Nations Church, also the CEO and founder of Bridge of Grace Compassionate Ministries. Our greatest goal is to transform Southeast Fort Wayne. One of the things I wanted to do for sure, in my ministries, I wanted to move into the neighborhood, live in the place where I would be serving, so the people getting to know my neighbors and the people that we serve. And so that's why I moved to the Mount Vernon Park neighborhood. I didn't really know what I was moving into, like the type of neighborhood. It was until we got here, a couple of months living after here, that we saw, there was a lot of drug houses, and we would hear these shootings overnight. Yeah, it was hard at the beginning, but I think, I always wanted to live here. I grew up in Mexico, in the second most violent neighborhood in the city. My mom, as a single mom, had to work 2 or 3 jobs to be able to bring food to the table. I didn't see it as a negative thing, moving into a community like the one I grew up. I saw it more like a positive thing, maybe I can relate to a lot of these children and a lot of these moms that went through like what my mom went through. I believe that the people know best of what, when it comes to solutions to problems. A lot of times what happens, and we started that way too, we made mistakes from the beginning, creating programs, assuming that we know best what people need. Well, guess what? That's not how it is. It should be always, you should go listen first to the people. They live here every day, so they know exactly what needs to be done. The biggest problem or biggest concern from people was crime. That helped us to understand, okay, so we should focus on that, right? We should create things that will help with that. I read a book called The Tipping Point. Malcolm Gladwell writes this book, and then there's one chapter there where he talks about the broken windows theory. If you clean up and if you reduce the blighted homes or blighted buildings in your neighborhood or wherever you are, it actually helps to reduce crime. And I thought, well, my community is very run down. There's a lot of trash in the neighborhood. There's a lot of vacant lots in the neighborhood. There's a lot of blight homes. Okay, so that's one thing we can do. When we thought about the vacant lots, most of them are liabilities for our neighborhood. Usually people don't like those vacant lots. Sometimes even people come and dump their trash. Well, we see it more as an asset, a place that can be converted into something good, something people can use. Here's the difference, right? Now you have vacant lots to become something that is actually positive for the community, and it's a place where people can go and gather and get to know each other and build relationships. We bought some of the houses that were the most blighted homes. We just bought one first, and we were doing all this work, and people started calling me about, hey, are you doing housing now? I said, well, we're doing one house. And they said, well, if you're doing housing, we're in. We want to help you.
I remember listening to Javier for the first time, and I was moved. I was so moved by his passion and his genuine care and concern for this community. This isn't just about one neighborhood. This is collectively moving Fort Wayne forward in a big way.
Our goal is to reduce that rental rate from 66% to 30%. Now the highest percentage is owners, and so that helps to, you get to know each other, it reduces crime, people get involved, and people care about their neighborhood. Already the work started, so to be able to see that, it's just amazing. A dream come through. Instead of going to look for the needs or the problems or what is wrong in the neighborhood, maybe you come with a different mentality and attitude and come and find what is good, what's positive, What are the assets? Because if you come with that mentality, you'll find that maybe you can now build on those positive things, on those assets.
Who are we? AFC, who are we?
The idea has always been to replicate what we're doing here in the next neighborhoods. And so we have 50 neighborhoods in Southeast Fort Wayne. So hopefully, what's happening here, the positive things, the crime reducing, the housing, and just a thriving community, that is a healthy community where people come out now and feel safe about their kids playing in the front yard. That's what we want for every community. For me, what really inspired me to do this and wanting to continue to do this is that I feel like we are going to the root of the problem. And that's what community development is. If you're doing it right, is to going down too deep to the root of the problem so that you can actually create this change that will change in the generations to come. What we're trying to do here is trying to make people know that they can have hope, that their future can be bright. Because it's what people believe about themselves, it's what people believe about their community, what people believe about their future that will make a difference. That's the best way to do and create lasting change.